All right, here we are back with an article review for Birdencaster for James. This is a settlement article in the World Anvil platform. So let's start looking at it. The history, geography, postal service, climate, architecture, buildings, roads, public squares, demographics, economy, placement, poverty level, electricity, market days, reset culture, museums, government. Right. Transportation. That's good. There's something up here at the top. Postal service. Postal service doesn't seem to fit in geography. Oh, that's right. I do normally pause the music. Thank you very much. It just doesn't seem, postal service doesn't seem to fit in here, but in the United States, there's the government-run United States post office system, but then there are the private ones like FedEx, UPS, and others. So I'm not sure if post office should go under government, but it just seems out of place between the two, between climate and geography. Okay. All right, let's get reading into it directly. The city of Birdencaster was founded in the United Kingdom in 2050 CE. The city itself has the shape of a circle. It's not a typical city shape before 2045. Unlike Oxford, which is a star shape in other cities that are more organic, Birdencaster is the shape to be more space efficient with its surrounding areas. Later founded cities follow this form of being circular in shape. I did not know Oxford was a star shape. That's pretty cool. Birdencaster is situated northeast of Warminster and northwest of Salisbury. Okay. The city itself is geographically separated into 5 zones, circular rings, and 12 segments, each having its own code depicted where it is within Birdencaster a building is. Okay, that's a bit odd right there. Okay, let's get that timer going. Hefe Life said the same thing, but I said I was discussing geography in it, so that's why I stuck it there. All right, that's your call. All right. All right. Where was I? Each having its own code depicting where it is within. Oh, yeah. Each having its own code depicting where it is within Birdencaster a building is. That a building is seems to be out of place. The zone number first in this segment, last separated by a space. All addresses start with this code. Only zone 1. It is only zone 1 that does not have a segment code, as it is regarded as not needing to be separated into segments. As with all cities founded after 2045 CE, each zone has an industry that the society needs to function. Each of these are found in each zone. Some zones have more than one industry within them. This is not a hard and fast rule, as there are some establishments that can be found in zones which do not belong to that zone's industry designation. Some of, such as a hardware store in Zone 3, or a porridge house in Zone 5, or a firework factory in Zone 7. Zone 5. These rules This rule has some interesting changes, as not every zone has only one industry, such as with Zone 5 and Zone 1. The entertainment zone, transportation, low industry zone. Zone 1 is an interesting zone, as it is the only one that doesn't have a residential quarter. A list of each zone's industry is listed below. Okay. I don't know if, oops. I don't know if you need to say that it's interesting. Zone 1 is the only one that doesn't have a residential quarter. I think all of the zones, and here you have interesting, and then you have interesting. So let's find. Okay, so you're only using the word interesting twice during this article, which is good, but the fact that two sentences next to each other have the word interesting in it, you should. Oh, sorry. You should choose it. I would recommend that you choose a different word. Okay, zone 1. Okay, zone 2, high industrial. Factories, okay. Marketplaces and low industrial. Ah, okay. That's good to know the difference between high industrial and low industrial. That's pretty cool. As Birdencaster has segments, some of these numbered segments have certain buildings in these are. Okay, as Birdencaster has segments, some of these numbered segments have certain buildings in these are. Okay, this seems there's something wrong with this sentence here. Have certain buildings within them, and then the segments are. So that ending of that sentence needs to be taken care of. Segments 1, 4, 7, and 10 hold the cat. All right. These are the headquarters for the messengers. These offices are found in each zone that has these segments. Segment numbers that are multiples of 4 have warehouses. Okay. Segments that are multitudes of 5 are banking districts. These banks generally cater to the people living in the zone in which they live. Moving house to another segment meant transferring the bank account. Interesting. You made up those terms, high and low industry. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Okay, the Postal Service. For messages such as letters and short messages, these are carried by messenger. For parcels, they are sent to a post office. For parcels that are designated within the city is taken to the chosen captain of the messenger's office outside the. Okay, no. Yeah, okay. To be further delivered to the destination. For parcels that are destined to be outside Birdencaster, then the package is sorted into regions in the country, and then taken to the closest segment in Zone 5. For example, Post Office in 4-2 will take their packages designated to be taken out of Birdencaster to 5-2. Addresses start with the zone and segment code, and then the standard way of writing an address is below that. Okay. There are 4 seasons, which are spring, summer, autumn, winter. Winter tends to be long as it overlaps into the new year, and the seasons therefore do not divide equally. So there's the definition. Winters are snowier, but not as thick as some parts of North America. Citizens in the city have gotten used to having to sweep stairs to get out of the building or even make roads usable. Nothing too serious happens as sewer systems can cope with snow melting. On the other hand, it can't cope with snow melting and then it rains. Okay, so that is an issue then you need to worry about with flooding. Okay. Just looking, see how much left there is. It's quite a long article, and you've put a lot of good work into this. You can tell. Okay. Yeah, it's good so far. The architectural style of Birdencaster is Victorian brick structures that can resemble medieval structures due to some buildings having their reliance on timber beams on the outside. For buildings that are more than 2 floors tall, brick is used without external timber beams. The tallest building in the city is the Arena, of over 6 floors tall, and the resemblance to the Colosseum in Rome. Most buildings only reach 5 floors in total. Okay. So this is interesting. Can brick buildings like you've described here be up to 5 stories tall? That's going to be a question. Some buildings that are part of the beekeeping industry have a reliance on being open on more than one side. These buildings are made of wood and tile, while main structure is brick. Some buildings have their exterior walls plastered. These buildings tend to be more official buildings, such as Captain of the Messenger's office. Due to their age, these plastered buildings tend to have patches of exposed brick. It is not considered to be an unimportant. It is not considered to be unimportant to repair them. Okay, so we got some double negatives going on here, so I'm not sure uh, what it's trying to say. It's not considered to be unimportant to repair them. I like it is to be considered important. Okay, it is not considered. Um, hmm. Well, I think, okay, I don't know which way you want this sentence to go, whether you're talking about the positive towards or the negative. It is considered to be unimportant to repair them because it's a cosmetic look, or it is not considered to be important, or it is considered to be important to repair them because of structural integrity. So it is. Yeah, because I can understand not being considered to receive the diploma, but where, hmm, oh wait, diploma. Unintentionally, the unimportant should be important. Okay. All right, roads. Roads are cobbled. Okay, roads are cobbled. The roads share a brick-like pattern. Okay, so we need to add a punctuation there, just saying roads are cobbled. Period. They share a brick-like pattern, except for parts of Zone 4 and 47, is brick paved. You know, you got, uh, you have a, let's see, you do have different ideas in here, but I think it's, yeah, that's fine actually. Once in the central zone or zone 1, the roads are marked out with arches. After going through an arch into zone 1, the pattern changes from brick like to arches. The arch pattern goes around. The arch pattern goes around the arena. When doing so makes the arcing pattern in a clockwise direction, meaning that if someone joins the clockwise path at segment 3, the next chance they have to leave zone is at segment 4. Um, Signposts are used to show. All right, let's turn that up. All right, the arch pattern goes around the arenas, and when it does, it makes the arching pattern in a clockwise direction, meaning that if someone joins the clockwise path at segment 3, the next chance they have to leave the zone is at segment 4. Signposts are used to show which segment roads will find themselves if they are to walk down the road. Okay. Pavements are usually alongside all roads. Okay. Birdencaster follows the following naming conventions for roads and names, which are. Yeah, I should hydrate. They are not named after a monarch or monarch position, such as king, queen, prince, princess, duke, etc. Street names pertaining to another place, such as Oxford, London, or any local place, and then roads. So thereafter, the road name, such as Oxford Road or London Road, are not used. Road names do not end boulevard, as it makes the place sound grander than it actually is. Roads can get their names from the industry. For example, 35 has a mint on Mint Street. Mhm. Public squares have a building. Public squares with a building have clocks with bells. Squares that don't have buildings with clocks inside instead have clocks at the square themselves. The bells chime for each hour. Unlike the the bell chimes is for each hour. Unlike the old world, the chime they chime the hour number it represents for 24-hour times. For example, 3 p.m. will have a uh, is it 3 p.m. will have bells chime 15 times. Okay. The population of Birdencaster is estimated to be 100,000. With enough services to support that population, Birdencaster is regarded as a small city. Whoa. Did you just change the theme on me, James? I don't think I touched anything. With the adult population, there are more women than men. But due but due to the attribution of such with warfare and disease, has the opposite for the children and teenage population. Huh. Invert colors. No. Oh, there we go. Somehow I hit the user way. Yeah, I think I accidentally hit that. Birdencaster makes most of its money from its three main industries. These industries, in a list of profitability, are animal husbandry, forestry, and beekeeping. Due to the Great Rewind, industries have returned to use more primitive tools that don't need a have reverted to more primitive tools that don't need a lot less power to drive them. Okay, so that a lot less is an extra word causing confusion that I don't need power to drive them. Most industries within Birdencaster are physical by nature. Okay, poverty level. Zone 3 is the poorest, and their residents are the least well dressed, either uh, because they feel that feeding themselves is a higher um, okay, I lost my spot. Sorry about that. A lot less power. Yeah. Yeah, the what is redundant. Um, Either because it feels a higher priority than what the clothes on their backs can provide. It can also be the case that their clothes are getting dirtier than other workplaces in other zones. Okay. With residential, most areas will have only 2 hours of electricity per day, which is often when citizens are out of work or school. Commercial areas, they have enough power for the operating and closing procedures as well as running the store. In the industrial store, really, to have a community with only 2 hours of electricity per day, how do they regulate that? I'm not sure. What is the case? While this is the case, there's not enough power to go around for everyone. The policy is to use as little power as possible. For commercial buildings, they'll use analog version of cash registers, so they have a tiny calculator. They have a calculator. It will be a mechanical one. Okay. Yeah. All right. For the unfortunate who live in segment 7, this is not necessarily the case. Their power is much more intermittent, with commercial buildings using candles to light their stores, while factories use um, much more intermittent, with commercial establishments using candles to light their stores, while factories use most of the power. Let's see. Streetlights don't come on at night, and if they do, they give a weak flickering light. So when they can, citizens in this segment will stay in as much as possible. Compound this with the train system within Birdencaster, which has powered rails on regardless if there is a train on the rails or not, which effectively weighs power further. This is because no analogous method has been found that you can turn the power off for sections where there are no trains in them. Okay. Uh, all right. Well, that is two, and we're at the top of the hour. A lot more left to go, so we'll just need to leave that for another day as we get back into some more writing sprees. Just to wrap it up, really well written. Some of the best structure and grammar that I seen from your stuff. It looks well polished, and um, yeah, this is what I like to see. Being able, the it's evident that there is a lot of polish on this article.